Hello my little Stow Warriors. Yeah, I'm back again, and I am back with a little ship that I bought the other day for a trait, and the actual ship itself I thought was going to be a little bit shit because the seating and all that's a little bit funny, but actually it is a kick-ass little bad boy. It's quick as hell and it's got great seating actually when you get twiddling with it, so I'm going to go through the build and show you what I've done to make this thing quite deadly. Right, okay, look at that dirty little evil grandpa in the background there, Mr. Vapor. How you doing? Right, let's go. Alright, okay, so obviously with the update all the new shit's come out, everybody's out there spending 12 bloody hours a day grinding all the crap and getting all the new bits, and yes, I got a few new bits and I got the NX class, so that's what this build's going to be on. It's going to be on this little bad boy, my little pink NX class here. I thought it was going to be a piece of girly shit, so I decided to paint it pink, but actually I like her. As you can see, she turns pretty damn good for a little spoon with wings. I don't actually own many fed ships, but this one, she's a keeper. She's definitely a keeper. Right, let's go through the build quick. Right, you're going to probably laugh at this because you're going to think, why is he mixing everything again? But honestly, give it a try. Damage is good. Can't complain with this sort of setup. Right, because I'm going to go for the cannon style. You'll see why, because obviously I've got the NX trait, so I want to do the cannon build. And to be fair, I love the pew pew. Everybody loves the entropic pew pew shit, but I can't really stand it, so I try and stay away. But I have got it on this build, as you can see. I've got a bit of pew, but only a little bit. Right, so we're going to start with the quads. Oh, I don't know, I love these quads. They fire loads, they do shitloads, they do a pretty good bit of damage, you know. Can't complain with the quads. The only problem with them is they do take your engine power away, but I think it's worth the trade up. I mean, what is it, -10? Yeah, -10 engine power, which is a bit of a bitch with these, but no, they're good. I love them, love the quads. Okay, because it's a phaser build, obviously you've got to have the quantum phase. Because later you'll see my skill tree, I've actually got no, I've only got one in shield weakening. I'm actually going to get rid of that, I think, and put another one in pen. I'm going to get rid of that because with this build I've got this and that, which pretty much takes their shields down for me, so I don't really need to worry about them too much, so I will change that spec over into penetration. So got the quants, got the Terran Task Force Disruptor. I mean, this thing's a beast, as you well know. When the hull's below 50% the damage starts procking up, and you can see 50 to 70k shots with this weapon with all the traits on and all the buffs, so it is pretty sweet. Okay, I've gone for this new pulse phaser thing, because when you look at the proc there, to target -10 all damage resistant to self +10. Wow, that is sick. And I don't know if anybody's tried the cannons on these, but Jesus Christ, they are so gorgeous. Honestly, I'm going to do a full cannon build with this just for the look, just because it looks like you're sort of firing fireballs at people, and they are so cool. Even the beams look badass, you know, it's like a quick sort of it looks really wicked, so I love these. Plus that proc is good. I mean, you probably might benefit from having a couple of these sort of things, but one's enough, I think. I mean, if that procs, it doesn't actually say the time. I don't know how long it lasts for. I'm pretty sure it doesn't say the time. Where is it? No, that's for the other trait, so it's this bit here, but it doesn't say how long. Maybe it's just for that shot? No, I doubt it, but who knows anyway. But yeah, one's good enough. And then, as I said before, I've got the quantum phase torpedo up front. See the stripping shields there, that 3, 6, 4, 5, blah blah blah. Along with the cannons, when you're doing a run at somebody, you know, you've got that draining the shields, that draining the shields, plus you're smashing the shields. They're pretty much down straight away, so, you know, by the time everything's fired off, plus your beam overload, blah blah blah, cannon rapid fire, that's spreading towards them, their shields are down by the time that hits, so it pretty much always that instant like little vapid shot's quite nice. And I've got the 3-piece there because I've got the extra 15% accuracy, and it doubles the potency of the quantum phase weapons. Plus I've got this quantum destabilizing beam. I mean, it's not brilliant, but you know, it fucks people up in PvP. It blinds them, plus it takes their power and gives it to you, plus it does like a constant sort of phaser damage. If you can get somebody when they're sitting still, or if you can keep tracking, you know, in the 45-degree arc or whatever it is there, it is a good little move. So yeah, it's good to have. And plus I've got a little bit of drain on my ship, so I thought, well, I'll have that. And my power levels are shit as well, as you can see, so any drain or power to myself I will gladly take, so that's a good little move. For the actual ship gear, I'm going for this little bad boy, the counter command deflector array, just because it gives you the energy weapon training and projectile, blah blah blah, gives you the exotic and the control as well. So I don't really need control with this build because I haven't got like a tractor beam, which I would usually have in a cannon build. But yeah, maybe I should change it for the solenoid, but oh, okay, I'll have a look. Right, so I'm worried about the energy damage, so 1892, let's see how much of a drop it takes off. 20. Okay. Because it's only 20, but then I want to see how much boost it does to my exotic. Well, that's low, isn't it? See, my APG is really shit on this build. But it's always good to have this, because when it's buffed it does hurt. So 6462. Let's go back to that. That's about 100. Okay. What else is it? Give a bit more drain, a bit more hull cap and accuracy. So we're going to swap it, I believe. We're going to swap. Let me just check the projectile. So that's 7217. That's pretty low as well. That's like 200 on that. Okay. Oh, it's a trade-off in it. So you're trading off energy weapon damage, which is the most thing that I'm doing with against exotic, just for that little extra EPG. This has got a 30, so no, I'm going back to it. I'm going to stick to it because it boosts everything rather than just boosting one thing. So yeah, and I don't like the visual on it, so disable that shit. Okay, right. Impulse engines, obviously, fleet hyper at the moment until the new ones, until I get the new Lucari, is it? What's the name of those new? Yeah, Lucari, the new Lucari ones. Once I got them, I will obviously swap them around for the Lucari because they give you that sweet little sort of tactical retreat for free. Plus, they're pretty sweet. So, but at the moment, yep, advanced fleet, everybody goes epic, or they think the elite fleet will be better, but actually, nope, look at that, speed 3 turn. I'm a nub. I never even realised they were on there until I checked the other week, and now I see these little bad boys and they are so quick. Don't give you no boost, don't give you no procs, they just give you speed, but it's worth it, well worth it. Okay, so the warp core, I'm going for the temporal 2-piece, obviously because I'm doing a bit of entropy, so I want the damage over time, blah blah blah, and hazard effects. I mean, I'm not too sure how much it boosts, but I'm just so used to using the warp core, the trajectory jump, so I love them warp cores, plus the shield's alright, so I stick for that 2-piece there. Who knows, if I'm pretty sure you could put maybe the Iconium, but as everybody knows if they're watching my other videos, I've only just got the Iconium back and I'm not grinding up to ultra rare yet, and I haven't finished my temple char, so I'm going to stick to this shit. It doesn't matter anyway. I mean, who cares as long as you've got a trajectory jump to get out of shit. And I mean, you're probably better off with some other warp core, but I like it. Maybe the Terran one for power levels again, but blah. Sod it. Stick to that. Stick to these two. Go for the overtime. Only things I don't like about this build is obviously this Nausicaan 3-piece. Sorry, I need it on there because obviously the extra disruptor damage for the Terran stuff, blah blah blah, and the whole pen. Need it on there. Yeah. Don't know how brilliant it is, but obviously with the console as well and the 3-piece you get more disruptor damage, so that's basically how I'm putting all my damage up. I'm not using, as you can see, I've got no tactical consoles to put any real damage up. I'm just using like traits and shit, you know, to get power levels higher, because in PvP you can't really I mean, they do, you know, there's loads of people out there that put 5 in here, 5 torpedo, 5 disruptor, whatever they're doing. But I don't know, I just don't see any massive trade-off. I think you're losing so much shit for just having buffs in attack, when you can use other shit with extra shit to buff your attack anyway, so why not go for it? Why not? Yeah, I think it makes sense anyway. Maybe people think I'm full of shit, but fuck them. Okay, so devices, we got red matter cap, and we got the reactive armor catalyst. You could probably use that delta thing if you've got it, but to be honest, I think this is a pretty sweet little thing. You know, it's like, I can't remember how long it lasts, like a minute to recharge or something. Oh, whoops, didn't want to use it. I wanted to info it. That's noisy. Over 20 seconds, right, so it heals you over 20 seconds. That's pretty sweet. Can't complain with that. Love them. Plus they're in the what is it, R&D bit, engineering, blah blah blah. It's in here, so you just go third one down, max it up, and they take about 30 seconds, and you'll get, I think it's 15. Oh, I've got no guys that can do shit. Right, okay, so moving on to engineering consoles. Right. Bit tricky with this one, because what I'm liking so far is this. I mean, if you read the spec, look at it. 2 target disables as long as they remain in a 45-degree arc. So, and it lasts for 10 seconds doing the 2-time physical. That for a cannon build is stupid in my eyes anyway. Well, if it works how it reads, that is pretty insane. I would like to put like a tractor beam on as well, so I can tractor beam and pug this, you know, and just let hell loose on them, and that's sweet. And then I've two-pieced up with this temporal point defense, not temporal point bombardment. I haven't actually used this yet because I've only just literally put it on there for this build, but obviously it gives you the projectile damage and the crit chance. That also gives you the exotic. I forgot to mention that gives you the exotic and the control. So the exotic's pretty sweet. Everybody needs a bit more particle gen. Shame it's not a percent. That's a bit of a fucker, because when you look at, you know, you'd have the Delphic tier or whatever and it would be plus 20%. This one is only plus 20, so it's a bit shit, but who cares, a bit more exotic. Plus the move itself sweet. This, I don't know what the torpedo's like, but obviously I'm going to try and grab them with that, pug that off. Well, actually no, because it doesn't, it sort of travels towards them and fires shit, so maybe it's best off firing from distance, maybe running out and fire it with all the other shit and then grab them. So yeah. Okay, so then we go for this just because it's got the EPG on it and a bit more turn. This ship turns sweet anyway, but add a bit more and it definitely turns sweet. Add one of these on and it's well nice. You don't need any other turn stuff on there. Okay, so we're going for the quantum phase converter console, obviously for the 3-piece of that, plus it boosts my orcs, plus it boosts my phaser damage, and the drain for the plasmodic leech. So yeah, definitely a good console to have on there. Science, obviously I'm going to have this 3-piece Nausicaan, so that has to go there. It's not a very great console, to be honest. It's okay. It's good for a disruptor build, obviously, but there's other ones that will do you better, but you need it, obviously. And because this ship's, I don't know why they've kind of lacked it in science. You know, it's a science bloody escort, for fuck's sake, guys. I mean, you should at least have 3 and 3, maybe 3 eng, 3 science, because it's definitely not an engineering ship. So I don't know why they've built it like almost an engineering type ship, but okay, whatever. So the one I'm going to use for this one here is this exotic particle focuser with the Drain X with the plasmonic leech. So yeah, some people will go sort of shield cap because the shields are, wow, the shields are actually really shit on this. Oh god, I never even noticed they were so bad. But to be honest, PvP I don't really give a toss about shields. Could take it up to 14 by that on, but no, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna keep this on there because it obviously gives me my drain, it gives me my APG, plus it gives you that 25% chance when I'm using exotic damage, which I'm using a fair bit. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that on there. Fuck the shields. Everybody knows shields don't mean shit in PvP anyway. They're down within seconds. Everybody goes for whole damage over shields, so who cares? Alright, okay, let's get rid of this guy's bullshit chat. Right, okay, let's move down to tactical. So tactical, reason I'm choosing this is only because it gives the EPG with the torpedo damage. I'm actually going to change it right now, maybe, because I use beam overload and this is a low accuracy percentage. I think I might change it for this. Let me just have a little ganders, because that does give me the accuracy on the beam weps, plus it gives me the drain and the exotic. And the other one, I know it's not as high, I know it's only 30, 21, blah blah. Let's have a look at the boost. That's the only way to test it really. So 6309, blah blah blah. What's it going to go to? Is it going to go to, wow, no, okay, it's quite a drop, isn't it? It's quite a drop. Yeah, that is quite a drop. So, no, we're going to stick to that. Because it boosts the torp as well, so sod it, we're going to stick to it. It doesn't really do bugger all else for me apart from the weapon damage, and I'm using no 3-piece with it or any sort of combination, but I'm going to keep it because I ain't got shit all else in there. My consoles are useless at the moment. I really need to get some new stuff. It'll do. Okay, definitely this sort of thing here. This, unfortunately, because I can't put any other, if this had 3 on the rear, I could probably put the turret there just to proc it like that, but I'm going to have to put this console on to get that 2-piece moving. So I've got this little bad boy here with the auxiliary power, the engine power, the weapon accuracy, which is good, and a bit more turn rate, which I don't really need, but I need the 2-piece because obviously the damage boost of this, it says only 16.4, but obviously you get the 7.5% when you get the 2-piece going, and that is, it's a lot bigger. If you put I'm going to say it, if you put attack console, you know, one of those crit chance blah 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 attack ones in there instead of this, it's a much bigger drop. I'm going to risk saying that before I test it. Right, 1892. Okay, so 1892 is get a disruptor 1. I don't even think that'll do. Yeah, see, much big difference. So you might as well use this with the 2-piece, plus it gives you the radiation and the photon. I know I haven't got any photons, but you know, some of you guys out there will put a photon instead. You probably might try the new, no, the new one's shit, plus a Delphix quantum, isn't it? So yeah, it's pretty much shit against with the torpedoes, but oh well, we'll have it there anyway for the disruptor damage and the radiation. Right, okay, so this console, I always choose this now. I never used to use it, but it's a bloody lifesaver, this console, for me, to be honest. It might be a small waste of space because you've got no EPG, no damage coming out of it, but it is a lifesaver. That extra hull healing, plus the actual move, you know, when you're almost dead, you can press that, and if you see what it says there, for what time is it, 26, receive 100% of your direct energy damage as healing for 26. Crazy. So yeah, you can imagine that just keeps you alive for 20 seconds when you pop that. So sweet, much definitely worth having. Okay, low power levels, and as you can see, because obviously it's a cannon build, I have to have maximum cannon power. Then I have to have a little bit in engines. I mean, obviously I've got emergency power engines to push this up, but my EPG, my exotic's pretty shit, you know, my Aux is shit. So I need the plasmonic leech to give me a boost. It takes me to about there. Then I've got obviously red matter, pop it over. So definitely worth having. Right, okay, as I showed before, I've got that 2-piece going on. Those little bad boys, well, yeah, those bad boys to proc the 2-piece. Plasmonic leech just to boost it up. Okay, right, so that's all those little bits. Right, skill wise, had to do a respec. And as I said, there's one thing that I will change, but so far this tree is working really wonders for me. You know, obviously it's got the good hull heal, it's got the good shield heal, blah blah blah. It's got full in cannons, so disruptor damage, blah blah blah, is going to boost. It's got all this control stuff, the speed, bit of that, bit of ablative. Shield hardness, don't really worry about regeneration, who gives a shit. I mean, my regeneration is piss poor, but who cares? As I say, don't worry about that, just worry about your hull. Your shields don't mean shit. I'm going to take that off and put that there, because I find with the torpedoes and stuff that this, you know, I don't really worry about the shields. They're down by the time that torp and those cannons are hit anyway, so I'm going to put another one in pen. Got your full targeting, got your full exotic, one in engineering, because I've only got a couple of engineering things and I've got other traits to cool this shit down. That's for 30 seconds, you know. As you can see, it starts 36, then it's cooling down, and by the time it gets to the end, it's at like, it takes 20 seconds, so it's always going to be on. This obviously takes a little bit longer, but you know, that's every 10 seconds. So why else would I need any more in there? I only put one in there just to help them along a little bit, but you probably don't even need that. Maybe you don't, but I'll leave it in there anyway. Obviously you got your coordinated protocols in there. Don't worry about any tactical readiness, shield mastery and full science. Okay, so with this I've got the 2 on there. With the one I went for was, I can't remember which one I went for. Oh, there you go. So I get the 15 seconds, plus I get the extra 15 seconds of hold healing and shield healing also. So there, it gives me another sort of life. So, you know, once, if that's out and I'm still getting hammered after the 20 seconds, that's boosting my healing up. Then I can pug that. Plus it gives you that critical chance as well for your weapons, so you can try and smash people while you're doubling all your healing again. I mean, it might be worth pugging that with that, but I think that alone is good enough, and in essence a second time sort of extra life gainer, so it works. Okay, obviously because it's the entropic build, I'm going to have to go for the temporal op blah 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 secondary. Usually I'd use strategist with a sort of cannon build, but because this has got the entropy and it's got the that shit, I'm going to go with the temporal op secondary, not primary, because I'm not worrying about any Tychons or gravity, so I don't need the primary. Primary is going to be my pilot. I mean, pilot's always shit hot, I think. I don't think you can go wrong with that. Okay, so trait-wise, okay, I'm going to start with the ablative shell. Gives you the healing. Every 10,000 damage gives you that 2,000. I'm going to go for accuracy because I'm using cannon weapons and they're pretty shit ack, so I'm going to add a bit more there. Biotech for the 20% bonus healing. Give it your all. Every time you use an engineering skills, that or that, 20% of damage for 3 secs, so yep, pretty sweet. Let's go down. Helmsman, 10% flight turn rate and a base's cooldown. Probably don't really need this, but I'm going to keep it. I'll probably get rid of it and put fail safe in just if I'm being a pussy, but no, I'm going to leave it. Inspirational, everybody has inspirational and you can't go wrong. 10 to most starship skills, 15 secs, that's 3 times, so pretty sweet. Alright, coming down, so we've got the self-modulating fire, you know, so on outward criticals, your energy weapon and projectiles gain 50% shield pen for 10 secs every 45 secs, you know, awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I didn't even know that existed. I'm such a nub. Such a nub. I was looking through the old space traits the other day in exchange. I was like, oh, what's this? Self-mod... Oh my god. Epic. Get it. Right, sweet. Mine now though, mine. Okay, particle manipulation. My EPG is so low, look at that, 32.2, but it's good enough, so I love that. We'll do the positive feedback for the 10% exotic, 10% healing, blah blah blah, you know how it works. Don't need that. Secret command codes, yep, when you're under control you get all that shite. Pretty sweet. And I think that is that for that, yes. Okay, so Starship Traits, this is where some of the new craps come into play. Right, not bothering with all hands, I usually do all hands, but instead I'm going to stick to peak efficiency because I've got so much crap keeping my hull up. Even though in like PvP it's like down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, so quick. It's crazy because I heal so much now and obviously people smash you so quick, but it's constantly up and these seem to be cooled down well enough by peak efficiency, so I keep that on. That's my only sort of cooldown shit and it works pretty damn well. Obviously got your invincible. I wish I didn't have to use it, but bastard entropy guys nearly one-shot you, and so you need it really. Okay, so we got this is one of the new one. We got this crescent wave discharge, right? So when activating overload or pilot bridge officer ability, gain 1 crescent wave cannon counted for 120 seconds. You got 2 mins of that gaining. Then it fires this little bad boy, and it disables for 3 secs. But it's like every 30, say 45 secs by the time that it's sort of built up the crescent wave counters. So it's probably every 35 to 45 secs it'll do one of those shots. But at the moment, if anybody's got it, you know it's bugged fuck, and it doesn't do 1 shot, it does 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. I've seen 5, and honestly they are crazy damage. It's so fucked. I was doing like 275k hits on people with it the other day and it fired like 4 and it was like 275, yeah, they're dead. They're well and truly out of it. So it'll get fixed, and I'm going to say when it gets fixed and it is ever just going to be 1 shot, I don't think it'll be worth it, because with 2 it's good. Because you think you're running at somebody and you're just doing your big sort of vape hit, you've pugged everything off, you're running at them, that fires 2, the first one takes the shields, the second one takes the hull. It pretty much finishes him with 1. So if it's just going to go down to 1 shot, it might be okay, just for that shield strip, and then let everything else, all your weapons hit the hull, but I don't think so, because it just seems to take too long to grind up sometimes, so I think I'll get rid. Okay, so next one we went for this preferential targeting that came with the NX class. Again, bugged. It says 100% damage. Damage boost seems marginal, it does seem to work, but it's definitely only 50. It says 100. But that's pretty sweet, every time. It's a bit of a sort of pain in the arse to use, I won't lie, because obviously I like using a beam overload, and obviously beam overload fucks around with 4, so your best option is to say when you're 15 seconds away from the enemies, pug that, get that charge because you've got 30 seconds on that, so you got that, and then if you can manage to pop that before you go into the fight, then obviously that's going to double in damage. So you gotta, where is it? That's doing a, was it 9099? 9099. It's, come on. Oh bollocks, I missed it. Oh well, you get my point. Right. What else we got? And that's it. Yeah, so that's it for the space traits. So that's what I got there. Oh, highly specialised. Got to have highly specialised. I mean, that boost is sweet. So that's a keeper. Right. So what we got here? We got blah blah blah. Ablative hull hardening, must have. I'm going for armor pen. It's probably shit. Oh, I'm saying shit, but yeah, I'm going for it. I probably should change that for exotic damage, but because I like shooting people with cannons, yeah, I'm going to stick with armor pen. Right, sod it. Crit sev, got to have reduction in bridge officers just to help kick off everything. And then we got our receive 2.5 your outgoing damage as a whole heal. It works really wonders. It's constantly keeping you regenerating, so I think it's always worth having. Maybe it's shit, but I like it. Okay, for the space traits, obviously you got the standard. You got that sensor interface platform. Then you got your get rid of their pets thingy, cascade. And you got your shield regen, and you got your invisibility, and then you got your death ball of shit that people hate, and I love it. So obviously they're the obvious ones to have. For station wise, we are going to go for people I'm using my Krenims, my Krenim guys to help my reductions and my cooldowns, and then my Spock, because Spock obviously he gives me, what does he give? Spock has astrophysics, so I like having Spock on there. Maybe I should put another Krenim on, but to be honest, I'm not using that many science skills, so what does it matter? Plus Spock's a badass mofo, so I'll keep him down there. Okay, so moves I'm going to use. I'm going to have recursive shearing, that gives you that, counts all your damage for 5 secs, then gives it to him in 25%. I mean, I know you should have the 45% number 3, but honestly, the other day I saw this do a 400k, so 400k is a good hit in my eyes, so it's worth having. Somebody said to me the other day, no way, you can't have recursive 1, it's shit, it's not worth it. Put a number 3 entropic there, blah blah, have another science skill. Bollocks. Recursive with entropic 2 is good enough. It hammers. Yeah, it does, honestly. Then we've got to have the hazard emitters one. I mean, you should have what's the entropy one? What's it called? Casual reversion, but should I have casual reversion instead of hazard emitters? No, I'm sticking with hazard emitters. Bollocks, because that gets rid of entropy, doesn't it? But no, I won't. I'll stick with that. Okay. Then we're going to go with the torp spread, because I'm not too worried about the torpedo damage, as long as it's... I might change that for a high yield, but I'm running a few STFs at the moment, so I'm going for a spread, so I'll probably change that for a high yield when I'm doing a PvP. Altogether one. Must have in these sort of ships, strips all the hazard buffs, blah blah blah. Then you've got to have the beam fire at will. I've never usually used 4, but I will use it because it goes with the trait that I've got, plus the beam overload 2 that goes with the trait, and the cannon rapid fire that also does it. Cannon rapid fire 2, so they're obviously going to get the damage boost, the 50% damage boost when I pug that. So sweet. Omega, got to have an Omega 3. Sorry. Then I'm going to go for structural integrity collapse, because that works obviously with your entropy shit. So that's a nice little one to have. Aux to Sif, because I like to use the DOF. Emergency powder engines 1, just because bit of boost. Maybe you should go emergency powder weapons, but my engine power is shit, so I need that in there. And then you've got to have a science team. I mean, it's got to have, really. You can't not go without a science team. Okay, right, so I think that's that. Rosters, I'm going to go for, see them. Roster, I've got this little guy, you know, Zamed. So you get 3% chance, 10% crit sev, blah blah blah. It's a good little one. I've got a beam overload, so I do like that. 35% of target shield for 4 secs, and that is all weapons, so that's a nice little pounder there. This guy for the invasive maneuvers. This guy here, 40% chance to remove buffs. To be honest, I don't need that. To be honest, I've got hold together 1, so that is pretty shit for me. So I'm going to get rid, and I'm going to be cheesy. I'm going to double stack because I can't be asked to look through. So look, you know, I've got 70% chance there. Double stack that shit, bollocks to it. There's the guy that does the placate, so whenever you use that, placates 4 seconds, yada yada. Everybody knows it, and then I'm going to use that after 15 secs, 50% chance, heal, 40% hull, restored by hazard, so what is it, 40% of 12? I know it's nothing, but I'll have it on there anyway. Okay, so I think that's the space gear. Setups here with my shit. As I said before, I haven't got great power, so you know, you've got to have your drain stuff, you've got to have your leech. I've got to have my power levels for engines about, you know, 50 base all the time. It's always going to be boosted by that, and obviously leech is going to boost it even more, so it stays high. This will stay pretty much reasonably about there. With the leech kick in, that's going to be about there, plus with the extra boost. So, you know, shields is obviously worthless, just have them at 0 and your weapon power's high, so this does work. I know now it looks useless, but when you're in battle, obviously everything's proccing off. Your power levels are much higher through battle, as you'll see in the video later that I put on there. As I said before, I've never tried this, but this is how I set up my shit. Everybody knows I'm a spacebar spammer, so I'll have the 2 spacebar things here. I'll have my emergency powder engines as I'm running at them. Obviously these 3, because they only proc when things are in the vicinity, so I'll have them next, so they'll automatically go straight away as soon as I get close. That to charge up, that before I get to them, that to charge up, got 30 seconds charge on those. Then I'll sort of wait till I get in the vicinity. As soon as I'm near, I'll go Omega, the blah blah blah, and then I'll keep spamming it, blah blah blah. And the cooldowns go, so it works really well. These are my pug ones, so obviously you don't want to spacebar your alphas, you don't want to spacebar that shit. You want to use that when you know you're about to do a nice big juicy fat hit, so get them ready. That as well for entanglement. Then obviously I've got all my other crap down here. Let's get rid of that, don't need that. Got my trajectory jump and rock and roll, blah blah blah. There you go. I think that is all you need to know, but honestly, if you've got a spare few mil, and I say few, it's quite a few, this ship is badass. It is so cool, and it turns and flies really quick. I mean, yeah, as you can see, I'm not really very high in my engine power, and that's pretty swift. So yeah, and look at the turn ability on that. I've got bugger all real turn, so honestly, get it. The NX is a sweet little ship. Right, okay boys, I'm going to get into a battle here. It's probably not going to be PvP, because as you know, new release, nobody PvPs after new release, not for a while. Ooh, the 2 people in the arena. Wow. That'll be like that all day, twats. They're probably just sitting there grinding their shit, hoping for a pop, but it'll never happen. Right, okay, cheers for watching guys, and I shall see you out in the battlefield soon. Bye bye.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. That was his power. That was his power. That was his power. Power. To be in power, you didn't need guns, or money, or even numbers. You just needed the will to do what the other guy wouldn't. And like that, he's gone. Nobody ever believed he was real.